Man, I was on my way to bed, but then I saw this. I wish I didn't see this. I'm kind of tired of seeing this. You know, DL was one of my favorite comedians. He didn't fall off my top 5. He didn't fall off my top 5 because of his political views, but he's fallen off my top 5 because of the last 2 times I've seen him. You know what I'm saying? He's a great crowd work guy, but it's like we're not even gonna get into that. This election has brought out the worst in black people. It has also exposed why we can't get along in certain areas. Like, there's a big problem with being able to disagree without disrespect. There's a big problem with people not admitting what it is. If you just on the side, ride or die no matter what, then say that. But don't tell me your side is right when you know they wrong. Don't do that. Let's be clear about what it is. Now, I've been voting Democratic since I've been able to vote, but my mother has always told me how to vote. And to be honest with you, about 10 years ago, and over the past 10 years, I had to come to terms with the facts my mother don't know everything. Not only do my mother not know everything, it's some things she don't want to know purposely. It's things she don't know because she don't want to know. And as a leader of my own family, I can't make decisions that way. And I can't 100% trust her guidance on decisions that I'm making if I know for a fact it's information out here that she not trying to know because of how it makes her feel. So, since I've been searching my own vote, I went to go listen to Kamala. I went to go listen to Donald Trump. And what they both got to say is drastically different. One is saying something, and one is saying nothing. Let's see what DL got to say.
All right, here we go. DL Hughley is back on Vlad TV.
Yeah. Two Calabasas kids meeting up in New York.
That's
baby.
right. That's right. My New York studio this time. Usually do it in LA. But here we are in New York. Just happen to be here at the same time.
At the same time. What are the odds?
What are the odds? What are the odds? Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Sure.
But when I actually put out, to my social media followers, what should I ask DL Hughley in our next interview? The number one question is, how much are the Democrats paying you to spread lies to the people?
I know
you've heard this before.
Yeah, I very rarely listen to because what people think about me is literally none of my business.
Right.
But the thing that's interesting is, you know me for a long time. I work every week.
Yeah.
I'm on the road every week. I do radio every day. It says a lot about somebody who thinks that it has to be transactional. I believe in what I'm saying.
Right.
And if I didn't believe in what I was saying, I wouldn't do it. Like when we had that whole dust up about the vaccine, not only did I take it, my family took it, we all took it together, my grandchildren took it. I don't just talk shit for money. I work for money. I do what I believe. And if it...
Time out, DL. Your job is to talk shit for money. That's literally how we know you. It's talking shit for money. That's what you do for a living. On the radio, on the stage, in this interview. I'm sure Vlad gonna pay you, because ever since Dame Dash got on his ass, he been paying people. But we gonna leave that out.
It says a lot about human beings who don't believe in anything unless there's a fiduciary connection to it. Like you, I work with you because I fuck with you. But if they don't like what I'm doing, they're free not to listen. But ultimately, I do what I believe.
Listen, I know the answer, but it's always like some conspiracy theory that you're secretly getting payments under the table. And
why would I? Listen, who is Warren Buffett? He invests in things that he uses, right?
Right.
We all do.
It's prudent to invest in things that you use.
Right, as do I.
You're right. So if you on the radio, I don't ever advertise something I don't use. So if I were getting paid by the Democratic convention, I'd say it. Why would I be ashamed of it? And if they were paid, matter of fact, the fact that I work so hard and it is for free makes me a little bit stupid.
You should be getting.
I'm glad he just admitted that part right there. I don't care if they are paying him or any of that. What I do care about is the misleading. Kamala newest thing is she don't want to tax tips. But do you know Kamala had to decide and vote of whether or not tips was taxed? I make more than $80,000 a year. Do you know the Biden administration decided to tax people like me an extra 10% on everything we make over $80,000 a year? I have kids in daycare. Do you know that the state paying for migrant kids to get daycare and welfare recipients to get daycare has made the price of daycare skyrocket? When Junior was in daycare, it was like between $125, $200 a week for the great daycare. Now my kids in daycare right now, it's $250 a week for the BS daycares and $400-500 a week per child for the decent daycares. Why? Because of the state funding that the welfare recipients and the migrants get. And the more we allow them to come in here living off of government funds, the higher the price of things are going to be. Because if you were a business owner and the government was fucking you over in taxes, right? And then you see they giving free money to other people, why wouldn't you raise the prices? Because the people with the free money don't care what they pay for it. And that's what we got going on. So it's not just inflation. We got a whole lot of get back going on. And for D.L. Hughley to live in a place like Los Angeles and see how the migrants have affected Los Angeles, to see how inflation has affected Los Angeles. I know you live in Calabasas, but you got to come out of there to go to work. You got to talk to the people on the radio station, right? Or you not listening to them. You did say you make it a point not to, I don't know what to say. And that's where it becomes a problem, because this is toxic. I'm sorry, not going to war is more important to me than having a quasi-black female president. Being able to afford to fill up my gas tank after I buy groceries is important to me. Being able to afford quality daycare for my 3 youngest is important to me. I make more than $100,000 a year. More than one income. And I'm sitting here worried about paying for fucking daycare, bro. That's an issue. That is an issue. Like, think about that here. I'm in the middle of downtown, living right off the water, and I'm worried about paying for daycare. What kind of sense does that make? How does a D.L. Hughley look past that? But see, that's not his problem. He don't have them issues. You know why? Because he's going to hire a couple migrants to come clean his house. He probably already has illegals working for him. Maybe I should hire some illegals, and then I wouldn't have to give a fuck. But to tell me you believe in our destruction. You believe in her vice president passed laws for kids to be able to do things sexually, gender assignment wise, shall we say, without their parents knowing, bro. It seems like to me a lot of you guys are not even invested in your future. And then when you talk about a Kamala Harris, whether she black or not is really not my concern. But she kind of reminds me of a Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union ain't had no kids come out that cooch. But she about to sit there in her house with her money and turn boys into girls and girls into boys. Husband into wives. I used to think her having that little kitchen back there was sexy, but now I get it. She the nigga in that relationship. I don't dislike DL. I'm not going to disrespect DL like how him, Charlamagne, Ricky Smiley, and everybody else is disrespecting us black men with a different opinion. Like, we tired of this shit. We've been voting Democratic down the board for 60 years now, and for 60 years all we seen is it get worse. And some of us get to make more money. Some of us. Sad, man. Shit sad. We out. And then I'm gonna tell you something else. I know this woman rights thing is a big deal, right? They keep saying women's rights, right? And he talking about this COVID shot, right? Notice he said he live in Calabasas. I deliver them COVID shots. They going to, what's in there is going to certain places based on zip code, number one. Number two, all the women in my family took them COVID shots. I didn't. They had to keep their jobs. I had to keep my job, but I was willing to lose it. They wasn't. The mothers of my kids didn't have to work, but they wanted to. That being said, every woman I know that took that shot having issues. They not all having the same issues, but they all been having issues. Some mentally, some physically, some womanly wise. And it's a whole laundry list of other women on the internet. It's a whole lot of apologies being given. It's a whole lot of people being exposed for investing in that. And you know what Joe Biden and Kamala did? They mandated people to take those shots. So how can you believe she gives a damn about female health if she mandated shots for a disease we didn't know what it was? And shots we didn't know what was in them. We didn't even have enough time to see how they would affect people. And while DL talking about he took his COVID shot, DL was also that motherfucker that passed out on that stage too. We out.